Good morning, mathematicians. Today we'll be doing lesson 9.4, renaming fractions as percents. We'll be focused again on our learning target of I can change a fraction with the denominator of 2, 4, 5, 10, or 100 into the equivalent decimal and vice versa. For our warm-up today, you're going to say what the percent of a certain number is. If it helps you, think of what fraction is equal to that same percent. For example, 50% we know is the same as half. So you would be finding half or 50% of 60. Go ahead and try these now. We already said 50% is the same as 1/2. 1/2 of 60 is 30. 100% is the same as 1 whole. So 100% of 60 is 60. 10% is the same as 1/10, and 10% of 60 is 6, and then 20% is the same as 1/5, and 20% of 60 is 12. Go ahead and erase your boards, and we'll get started on the next set. We know that 25% is the same as the fraction 1/4, and 75% is the same as the fraction 3/4, if that helps us. So now 25% of 40 equals 10, 75% of 40 equals 30, 25% of 32 equals 8, and 75% of 32 equals 24. Go ahead and erase your board and put it to the side now. This morning, we're going to continue filling out our charts on page 342 and 343. So go ahead and open up to those pages now. We're going to use the pages that we did the other day, page 252 and 253, to help us fill out some of the percent column. You don't need to open up to these pages. We can just look at the ones I have up here. Let's start by looking at number 1. It says that Alfred missed half of the problems, which later says that half is equal to 50%. So I can find half over here, and I know that half is the same as 5/10 or 50%, so I can write in that 50%. Everybody should go ahead and do this now. I can see that for problem number 2, it says Nadine missed 1/4 of the problems, and it says that is 25% of the problems. So I can then go ahead and write 25% for the fraction 1/4, and you should be doing the same. And let's look at the last one, or the last two on that page. Here it says 1/10 is the same as 10%, and 1/5 is the same as 20%. So we're going to find 1/10 and 1/5 and write in those 2%. So 1/5 is on page 342. I'm going to write in that 20%. And then I have to switch to page 343 for 1/10. And I'm going to fill in my 10% for 1/10. Now I would like you guys to do the exact same thing, but using the data I have up here for page 253, and fill in the percents seen here for the fractions for each one of these problems. Go ahead and do that now, and if you get done early, check with your math partner to make sure you're correct. Go ahead and close your math journals. We'll be coming back to pages 342 and 343 on a different day to continue filling in the percents. The other thing we'll be doing today is filling out the bar graph on page 258. The directions for this say, use the subscriptions per 100 people data in the cellular telephone use table at the bottom of Student Reference Book, page 302, to complete the bar graph. Round each decimal to the nearest whole number. So I just want to show you what page you'll be looking at, and specifically what part of that page. So the page we're looking at looks like this, and we're going to look at this bottom section, cellular telephone use, subscriptions per 100 people. So let's take a look at Taiwan. And it says Taiwan here has 110.8 subscriptions per 100 people. But the directions on our bar graph said to round to the nearest whole number. Turn and talk to your math partner about what you would round that number to. Thumb up if you said you would round it to 111. Great. So you'll be using this chart today to help you create that bar graph and then writing a question that could be answered by looking at the data you have displayed. Make sure you have out now your learning journey and you put in today's date up here. And then as you go through the work today, you'll be crossing out each thing that you get done. So let's look at what we have so far. Mental math is done. We can check that off. Math journal page 258 you still need to do. We already did the decimal percent. And math boxes, if you still need to finish, make sure you finish those. Then you'll be moving on to activity B, blend space practice D and E, or activity C, Math Masters page 287, and then blend space practice F. Make it a great day.